What's up with the crypto market? Most of the altcoins went down. Well, Bitcoin is holding up strong to this moment at least. Is this just the beginning of a bigger correction, or is this an unexpected fire sale to load up your bags before we hit new all-time highs? We will look at some altcoins, at Bitcoin, also the stock market, as the trend there is giving us mixed signals. So without any further ado, let's go. As you can see here, most of the altcoins did minus 20%, minus 15%, some even nearly minus 30% within just the last 24 hours. And that this is not just your usual small dump, also shows in the liquidations. We have $877 million in 24-hour liquidations, with the majority coming from long positions, which clearly shows us that most of the people were long, hoping for the next big leg up, new all-time highs for Bitcoin, also for all of the altcoins. So far so good. Now that these are wrecked, can we expect the next big leg up? Well, probably, but this is not the only parameter we should look at. In a very recent video, I talked about multiple possibilities for the cycle to develop, what we could expect now shortly before the halving, after the halving. I encourage you to have a look at it. In that video, I also told you we have basically fully reset funding rates, and this is a good sign for upwards continuation. But as it shows, even with the funding rates being this low, there were a lot of long positions that had to be liquidated, as it seems. Therefore, for the first time in a year, we're seeing funding rates as low as minus 0.04% on Deribit here, so the orange line. The second and third lowest values within a year back from now were on August 18th and on November 22nd. And November 22nd, this was actually at this point here, just a regular retest, actually not too far away from a big leg up in Bitcoin. And also this time, the dump for Bitcoin itself wasn't too bad. It's still a regular sideways range. We're still above the EMA 200. We saw a wick in my Phil Prince reversal bands, which is a good sign as well. So nothing too spectacular here. Still, just by looking at Bitcoin, we could go higher from here in the short term. And the other low funding rate on August 18th, this was right here after this big dump and actually marked the beginning of this crazy uptrend we're seeing from then on. Now, when we have a look at specific altcoins to sharpen our picture, things look a bit different. For example, Sui here left its uptrend. The price is for some time below major EMAs that ensure us if the trend is up or down. Of course, we had this small sideways range where it also started to look bearish, but at this point the moving averages are tilted downwards, which gives a bit of a bearish bias. If we have a look at the Phil Prince reversal bands, we made it to the absolute bottom of the second band, which shows for extreme momentum and normally is a great spot to fill up your bags, as you can see here as well. The wick even went a lot below the band, which doesn't happen too often. Also look at the volume. So for sure, this is a great spot to buy some, but this is not a local bottom for sure, of course. We could definitely see something like this, mean reversion, then lower, fishing up the liquidity, and then go up. So more precisely what to do in this scenario, I personally would, this is not financial advice, if you're planning on filling up your bags for some time, buy some now, set some bids here and here, or even at lower prices, mainly strong resistance and support areas here, for example, and here, just for the case. Therefore, you also call them stink bids. They might get filled, but they don't have to be. If they get filled, you're very lucky. And oftentimes just a wick, you make instant gains if they will be touched and filled. Then if we have a look at, for example, Manta, we can see that we've made new lows, judging by this bigger sideways range. Actually not global lows. Price started out here, but this as well for a great project like Manta, great opportunities to scoop up more, set some bids, as I said. Jupiter as well also made it exactly to the lowest point of the Phil Prince reversal bands. We're already seeing some kind of reaction. As you can see here for Render, the reaction is even stronger. Big wick plus green candle. This is actually something to look out for. If we have a big dip like that and you scroll through multiple altcoins, look at how price develops after the dip, how big the wick is, how big the reaction after it is, you will see that there are a lot of differences between altcoins. And normally the altcoins that react quite fast in reversing the dip are the most interesting buys for the next couple of weeks and months, as this shows for great conviction and interest of investors. And these are then potentially the coins that will pump more than the others. So just as one of many parameters for judging which altcoins to buy. Then of course, if you're into meme coins, Dog with Hat, for example, had its first 4-hour candle close below this golden moving average ever since its inception in February this year. But don't forget, it's a meme coin. They can go a lot lower and a lot faster than other altcoins. But of course, if you get the right entry, they are great for quick gains. I also made some multiples with Dog with Hat. I myself was actually pretty lucky to buy Dog with Hat at this prices right here. And at first, as it went down, I thought, all right, now it's going to zero, and then boom. Therefore, in bull markets, don't paper hand away your investment. Things like these happen all the time. Now let's jump from one extreme to the other, from meme coins to the S&P 500. And as you can see here, there's a little shift in momentum we're witnessing right here. For the first time since November 2023, we are below this moving average, which perfectly held a support multiple times in this uptrend, which has been very strong and very vertical. There's basically been no meaningful dips. And as we closed below here, it seems we are at a minimum getting to the golden moving average. This would be pretty normal. This would be pretty healthy. As you can see here in this extremely long uptrend after the COVID crash, we were mostly above the blue moving average, and then sometimes we had bigger corrections to the golden moving average. And this just made price come back even stronger. So judging by this could mean more downside for risk on assets, meaning crypto as well, but an even bigger rally in the midterm. Of course, nothing is set in stone here. There is, of course, a support and resistance zone here. If we manage to break up from here and resume and close above the blue moving average, then we won't see further downside. But actually, I'm leaning towards the further downside scenario, as we had a retest as well. By the way, on the weekly chart as well, you can see this is significant. This is the first 2 red consecutive candles for months. Let me know down in the comment section what you think is more likely. Will we see more downside? Is this the last capitulation week before we go to new all-time highs? Also, to discuss this more in depth, I'm welcoming you in my free Telegram group. Link is down below. Soon, members of this group also will get access to one of my trading indicators and a mini course, so don't miss out. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please ask yourself why and do it now. Of course, this was not financial advice. Please always do your own research and due diligence. This was Fair Prince for you. Until next time, crush the markets. Goodbye.